Push it on there. My name is Holly. I got into addiction pretty early in my life. I was a preteen.
I think I first tried Coke when I was like 17. I started
drinking when I was about 16, 17, and I was just a full-blown alcoholic by the time I was about 22. Like almost 2-3 bottles of whiskey or wine a day.
I started using crack cocaine when I was 21, but for my first time ever getting high, I was
like 13. I'm 18 now, so that's been like 5 years of my life that went to drug use.
Once I started doing heroin, I fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with it. And I never thought it was going to take me down the road that it did. But being as young as I was, I kept thinking I had more time to screw up, more time to get my life together and things like that. And it had gotten pretty ridiculous. And
I had gone to seek treatment at a crisis center in Burlington County for my heroin addiction. I had been struggling with it for almost 6 years at that point. When I went in, they told me I was pregnant. They said 23 weeks already, so that was really scary, knowing I was so far along, not knowing if anything was wrong with my baby. We tried a lot of places, but every place we got in touch with said couldn't take me because I was pregnant. Pregnancy made me a liability to them. If something happened to the baby, they could be responsible, and they didn't want that. I was ready to give up and go back to the street. I was sick in the hospital. I found that to be horrible, and they got in touch with the For My Baby and Me program. Miss Thomasine came, she picked me up. She brought me to HomeFront, which is where I'm housed. The next day, I came to Catholic Charities.
So I was in hospital for heroin withdrawal. As soon as I found out I was pregnant, I wanted to get clean, and it just wasn't working going cold turkey. My body just could not handle it, and they actually don't supply anything for any kind of opiate withdrawal at the hospital. They don't have the appropriate medication, which is frustrating because it does happen a lot. A lot of people do go to hospital for withdrawal, but it's a waste of time because there's really nothing that they can do. But the nurse gave me a number of flyers and booklets regarding different drug programs, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna die, because it literally felt like death. I've honestly never felt anything like that in my life, and it's not something I would wish on my worst enemy. It was just such an awful feeling physically. It was just so horrible, and I thought I'm never gonna make it to any of these programs. And the first thing on my mind, the only thing I wanted to was to get out of there so I could go and get some more drugs just to get rid of the symptoms. Like, I didn't even want to get high. I needed to feel physically better because it was literally unbearable.
Seen over the years a tremendous disparity for women who are socioeconomically disadvantaged. We see racial disparities, ethnic disparities when it comes to morbidity and mortality rates in the context of maternal child health. And so we're raising that awareness and creating a program that can be used as a foundation for other programs to develop a community care model that takes into consideration the unique needs of these women and their babies and provides the support that all women need to improve health outcomes.
What I love about this program that's different than anything I've ever seen before is before For Me and My Baby program, we would have women who were pregnant and who were addicted to opiates. And those ladies would go to the hospital, and we knew without a shadow of a doubt that they would not be coming back with their babies. I never saw one mom who was addicted that I know that when she got to the hospital and tested positive, that the division was going to come in and take her child. Since this program has started, every baby has come home with their mom, and they're given the opportunity to parent that baby and to work with that baby with supports all around them for all of the agencies that are part of this grant. And that's been the most heartfelt thing for me, because I saw so many babies get taken away.
So For My Baby and Me is a wonderful collaborative process, and we all sat around and said, what is it we need? What are the gaps within the community? And what we realized is that when a woman is in need, she needed to be able to have one easy step that she could tap into. Call one number and a cascade of services start. Identify, connect, and treat. That's really what our motto is. So a woman calls, somebody speaks to her, they come, they evaluate her, and they see, do you have a safe and sober place where you can live? If not, we can get her into emergency housing so that she can be safe. We connect her with drug treatment. We connect her to prenatal care so that we can take care of both her and the baby. That's really what our goal is.
These girls need this type of program in place for them in order for them to get their life together. Okay, I mean, it's very hard trying to come off of drugs, and this gives them some type of incentive to want to come off the drugs and be there for their children. And without it, they don't have anything else to hold on to. You know, because when I was coming along, and I was on drugs, they didn't have anything for me. You know, they didn't have anything for drug addicts, period. But now they got all these programs because of so much is going on with the opioids and the prescription drugs, you know. So it's a good thing that they have it.
Without this program,
I would most likely be dead, to be perfectly honest, because I was on a downward spiral doing so much heroin. I probably wouldn't even have a roof over my head. I would have absolutely nothing.
I don't think I would have my son with me right now if I didn't have this program.
If I didn't have this program, I would be on the streets. I would still be getting high. I wouldn't have my daughters. I would be felon.
I don't know where I would be.
I never thought I would be sitting here right now, clean, you know, not worrying about my next fix. But I am, and it's awesome.
When they come in, they're so hopeless, and they're scared, and they're not sure if they should even be here. But because they feel the warmth of where they're coming to, they stay, and they stay engaged in treatment. And you know, we've been able to see these amazing outcomes where they stay compliant with their medication, they're going to their primary care visits, and they're keeping communication with every treatment provider that we link them to. The babies are doing well. They take them to their primary care visits in the community, and you know, being linked to the housing and the jobs. And so that part, I think, for me is important.
What's been the most joyful thing for me in this process is watching a mom come in who weighed every bit of 83 pounds and her baby in her belly at 9 months weighing only 4 pounds, and she's ready to deliver. And seeing her in 2 months when we had a Mother's Day event, which was a Mother's Day fashion show, after she gained about 15 pounds being here in 2 months, and she walked the one way for that Mother's Day event with her belly and her hair done and her looking good, and her mom coming up to me and just grabbing me and say, "Oh my God, Miss Sheila, thank you so much for giving me my daughter back." And she sat there and Mom cried. That family is reunited. They are together now. They are just showing so much love and support to her, and we are planning a wedding. She and her fiance are getting married. How does this make a difference? How did it make a change? Because we have a mom who's about to walk down the aisle and marry her fiance, and they have their daughter, and they are moving on to the next level. And if I haven't seen anybody who is a true success story, it would be SABRINA, whom I truly have come to care about, and I will be at that wedding, and I will be on the first floor on the dance floor. So it works. It changed lives. It has made a difference in lives, and I'm just looking forward to more weddings and more happy success stories. These ladies have been inspired to go to college. They've been inspired to start home child care. they're hoping, they're dreaming. When they came here, they didn't have any hopes, they didn't have any dreams, they didn't know if they would make it, and they felt like this was the last straw. Today, they're visionaries. Today, they have hope.